This is a News 3 Now special report.
Thanks for joining us for this News 3 Now coronavirus special report. I'm Christina Laurie. New this morning, the nation's coronavirus response team declares we've entered a new phase and warns the next 2 weeks are critical in the fight to stop the spread. The U.S. reached a grim milestone this weekend, reporting the highest number of coronavirus-related deaths in just one day. More than 1,300 people died Saturday, bringing the nationwide death toll to at least 8,400 people, with another 312,000 infected. Health experts, including doctors Anthony Fauci and Deborah Birx, call social distancing our most important tool.
This is the moment to not be going to the grocery store, not going to the pharmacy, but doing everything you can to keep your family and your friends safe.
Overnight, Alabama became the latest state to put stay-at-home orders into effect. Meanwhile, Wisconsin's primary election still moving forward in person after a special session to address voting lasted just a few seconds this weekend. Only a handful of state senators showed up to the special session, which has been tabled until tomorrow. Those senators say they weren't surprised by the decision, but they were disappointed with it, saying sending thousands of Wisconsinites to the polls during a pandemic is a bad idea.
This is all about public safety. This is a matter of keeping people safe. And not to sound overly dramatic, it is an issue of life or death for some people.
The senators who attended the short session say they hope state leaders can come up with a solution within the next 36 hours. To protect poll workers and voters during Tuesday's election, the City of Madison Engineering Division is putting up plexiglass barriers at all 66 polling locations. The barriers will support social distancing guidelines. One barrier will be set up in front of 2 poll workers checking IDs, another in front of the person collecting ballots. Governor Tony Evers says Wisconsin has been granted a major disaster declaration for this pandemic. The governor requested the federal assistance earlier this week, which will provide all 72 of the state's counties access to public assistance programs. In a statement, Evers says he is, quote, grateful for the swift action of the federal government and that the assistance granted will help ensure Wisconsin can gain access to critical assistance as we continue our work to respond to this pandemic. There are now more than 2,100 confirmed cases of the virus and 56 COVID-19 related deaths in Wisconsin. DHS numbers show an increase of 12 deaths in one day. Dane County has 269 cases, while Milwaukee County still leads the state with 1,058. Roughly 28% of patients with confirmed cases have been hospitalized. Nearly 24,000 people have tested negative. Madison students are getting ready to head back to school tomorrow. That's when online instruction is scheduled to begin. School officials say they plan to ease students into this new kind of virtual learning. They say the first week will allow students and teachers to reconnect and will focus on the social and emotional needs of the student body. The district has not yet decided what kind of grading scale they'll use.
We see this as opportunities for students to continue to grow in their learning and for students to improve where they left off on March 13th. But we don't want this to negatively impact students' grades at any grade level.
With this new virtual format, families will have access to lesson plans online. The school district will also send parents tips on how to navigate online learning. For students, time dedicated to learning will vary depending on their age, capping off at 3 hours a day for students in high school. During this public health emergency, leaders at Second Harvest Food Bank say they are seeing demand for their services increase tremendously. They're experiencing 5 times the call volume they typically do, and they're already outpacing predictions that over the next 6 to 8 weeks, they'll need to provide more than 100,000 boxes of food to people in need. City and county officials are stressing that food providers are ready to help, and local businesses are also chipping in however they can.
Badger Prairie runs an innovative program called Kitchen to Table. They work with local businesses who have cafeterias, and those businesses donate and repackage food for pantries throughout Dane County. And since March 16th, their partnership with Epic Systems has resulted in Epic donating 35,000 grab-and-go meals.
Call the United Way's 211 resource line. Someone there will be able to help connect you with food resources and any other needs you have. Despite the spread of coronavirus throughout the state, construction projects in southern Wisconsin remain on schedule. That's because construction workers are considered essential under Governor Tony Evers' Safer at Home order. A reminder that work begins tomorrow on Highway 14 at the Wisconsin 138 interchange near Oregon. Wisconsin 138 traffic will be closed between the roundabouts under Highway 14, and 14 will be down to just one lane of traffic in each direction. This work is scheduled to be completed by July 1st. Now, how about some stories that are making us smile this weekend? The Empire State Building is shining in a dynamic heartbeat to show solidarity with victims and first responders. At the top of every hour, the building sparkles in the colors of first responders, paying respect to the emergency workers on the front lines of this fight. At the end of the light show, the Empire State Building goes dark for 5 minutes to honor those who have lost their lives during this pandemic. And here's a story we first told you about on News 3 Now this morning yesterday. Madison police joined Badger fans around the state at 3 o'clock Saturday to jump around, all while social distancing, of course. The movement started with Token Creek DJ Chris Truitt, who said he's trying to pick up the spirit of Badger fans everywhere during this pandemic. Thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you for watching this special report. We will have more on our evening shows and always on our website, channel3000.com. Hope you all have a wonderful Sunday.